busy week. I was sick this weekend, so I haven't got much accomplished on this motor and the car itself. But here's a few small updates. Bear with me. It is raining and tin building, so you're gonna hear a little rain on the tin roof, as they say. But here's your updates for the week. Let's get into it. All right, most of the updates happened under the hood. Very little has happened out back in the fuel cell area. So we got this full serpentine kit on. As I mentioned in the last one. It's ready to go. We have our upper and lower radiator hoses as well as the crossover. As you can see, we also have our valve covers on. This side is not done. I have to get 2 longer bolts on each side to make this Wild Horses 4x4 or B&M kit, whatever you want to call it. This wiring kit, this cleans it up, makes it look nice, but also keeps, as you can see, keeps it away from the headers. There's just enough room to keep that away, so that cleans it up, makes it look nice and tidy. I really wanted the Cobra valve covers, however they're back ordered, so we're going to go with the Shelby. I think they look good. Set it off. I wanted just a little bit of a polished under the hood, but mostly black and blue was my goal. So we'll change a few things up. The other glaring thing staring at me right here is the Holley Sniper 2. So we actually have the Sniper 2 on. The only thing we have not connected on the Sniper is the throttle linkage over here and the fuel cell, fuel lines going back to the fuel cell, which we need to finish. So that'll come later, but for now, that is bolted up. The wiring is already installed. As you can see, the temp sensor there, distributor there, everything's hooked up and plugged in. I was gonna put the wiring over here. However, I didn't like the placement once I got into it. So this is actually all that will be needed to be connected to the battery to make the Sniper work, is these 2 wires right here. As you can see, nice and tidy, tucked up in the radiator support frame, covered up, just like I like it. The back side obviously has a few connections. This will all get tidied up at some point, but we have the wires running through the fender over here, coming out over here. We have plenty of wiring to do so. So here we have the coil for the Sniper 2, the Hyperspark kit. So that's the coil. We have the driver for the Hyperspark distributor, and then we have the lovely PDM, which makes things so easy. It's all bolted right there, nice and tidy out of the way. You really won't see it unless you're just kind of looking for it. You can kind of see it. You can see some of the wires, but this will all get tucked in a little bit more. This was just kind of a rough first draft. So Holley really made it easy with the Sniper 2. It is literally 4 wires coming out of there. And then if you do all this stuff, it all plugs in together down to a science. It's nothing. So the unit will actually get plugged in and go through the firewall. And in there, we'll figure out where we're going to mount that later. But for now, I'm happy with everything else. As you can see, some of the other wiring's just kind of sitting around. I'm not real sure if it's finalized. Some of the wiring I will not need anymore, so I'll either deep-pin it or I will just put it out of the way for now. And we'll hide all that. That'll either get extended or it'll go through the frame and wheel well, so you will not see any of that. So under the hood is going to be as tidy as I can possibly make it. None of these wires will just be sitting out here. Obviously, some of the stuff is just out of the way. So I know what it is, know where it's at until I get it plugged back in. The brake booster still needs to be reinstalled, as well as the proportioning valve. That shouldn't be hard. I just didn't want to do it until I got all this wiring tucked around, kind of figure out where it needs to go. So I didn't want to finalize anything until I did that. The radiator has shipped. It will be here hopefully end of the week, first of next week. That'll be in next week's install, probably updates. So the main thing is Hyperspark. All this stuff is on the motor. Motor is sealed now except for right here, which is fine. I shouldn't have any issues overhead since we're in a shop. Like I said, just nice and tidy under here is what I was after, and I think I've accomplished that. The only thing that's bothering me now is this dipstick, and I'll change that out to one that looks a little bit nicer, but that is all the updates under the hood. Moving on elsewhere, we have these 2 pieces. So this door, I actually found another window regulator, all the interior pieces, and a panel. It is a white panel, but we'll dye it black, not a big deal. guy in West Virginia had some parts for me. So luckily I was able to get him to ship, and he knew somebody would ship it reasonably. So I greatly appreciate that. Was a Spider. That's always fun. I greatly appreciate him sending that because this stuff's kind of hard to come by. I also sold the fuel cell so we can kick some money back into this project. So that's always a good plus. So that'll be here hopefully end of the week, first of next week, as far as this goes. And then I can try to get that apparatus in there and we can have this hole sealed up. Fingers crossed everything goes good on that. And like I said, I was very sick this weekend. I don't know about y'all, but I had a stomach bug and it was not fun. So I did not get but a couple hours in, maybe at best. Out back, obviously we still got to finish up the roof patch. It's still got to finish, get tacked and cleaned up, and then get the oil can effect out of the hood, out of there where I got a little too much heat into it. What also came in is the fuel filler neck that I'll be using. Little low profile cap. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, maybe too low, but anyway, fuel filler neck and the rubber to connect everything. I may need one more piece, but for now that should work to get me started. Under here has not changed any. I've still got to finish welding the cage up and then run a pipe from here to the seal, and then another seal on the other side, and then up out into this filler neck, the factory filler neck. So that piece should slide right in. And then we've got to finish putting the fuel cell together as far as the regulator, pump, all that stuff. So not a big deal, not many updates, just kind of slow moving this weekend, but luckily able to get some work done before I got too sick. So this is what I'm most happy with, the progress of. It's just came leaps and bounds since the motors got thrown back in. So let me know what y'all think about this engine. How clean, does it look clean or does it look like junky, catalog-y? I don't know. I personally like it. Would have rather had the Cobra valve covers instead of the Shelby, but kind of a nice nod also. So black and blue was my theme. I knew that when I pre-ordered the Sniper 2. So I knew the underhood would look black and blue on the engine. So I think I did a pretty good job of not making it too aggressive, but nice subtle hints. Another thing we forgot is the starter still has to go on. That'll go down here. And then the header collectors will go on. There is a bung for the O2 sensor that the Sniper needs, so that should be perfect. That's all got to go on. I haven't had a chance to get under the vehicle and get any of that stuff done. So few more things, just it's all nitpicky small stuff at this point that has to be right, and if it's not right, I'm not going to enjoy it. So I'm trying to just take my time with some of the smaller stuff that's very important, such as getting the distributor installed correctly, just hand tightening bolts that I don't need to strip, just stuff that'll save me time in the long run, but right now need to get on. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like I said, if you're going to a Hot Rod Power Tour, let me know in the comments also. That way I can be following your channel and your build, and then I hope to see you out on the road. Talk to y'all soon. Thank you.